Here's an important topic if you're interested in buying a business. Understanding debt service coverage ratio, or known as DSCR. A buyer recently asked me about a situation where a bank deemed a business overpriced due to its DSCR. So let's talk about what that means and how to calculate it. I'm Trent Lee. I've sold over 600 businesses. And in the last 6 years, I've been named the #1 business broker in the country every single year, 6 years in a row, for the most closed transactions. And I make these videos so that one day, whether you're looking at buying or selling a business, you'll reach out to me so I can help you through the process. Let's break this down to understand what DSCR is and why it's crucial when buying a business. The debt service coverage ratio measures how much cash is available to pay off its debts. It compares the business's net operating income to its debt obligations. In simple terms, it tells us how well a business can cover its debt with its current cash flow. So how do you calculate DSCR? Here's what you need to know. You need to know the net operating income, or the NOI. The profit after all operating expenses are deducted. The debt servicing is the next figure you need to know. What's the total amount of principal and interest payments on the debt that you're looking at acquiring or you're looking at using to acquire the business? So here's the formula. DSCR equals net operating income divided by debt service. For example, if a business has a NOI of $1,000 and debt service of $500, the DSCR would be 1,000 divided by 500, or 2. This means that the business has $2 of income for every $1 of debt obligation. Now, you might be wondering, why is DSCR so important, and why am I making this video? A higher DSCR indicates a business has enough income to cover its debt, making it less risky for lenders. Bankers usually look for a DSCR of at least 1.25 for stable investments like apartment buildings, for example, meaning $1.25 in income for every $1 in debt. For businesses which are riskier than something like real estate, a DSCR of 1.5 is often preferred. Now, let's apply the DSCR in a business purchase. When buying a business, ensuring healthy DSCR is crucial. Let me tell you why. Here's a couple of important reasons. Risk management. A higher DSCR means that the business can comfortably cover its debts, reducing the risk of default for both the bank and the buyer. Loan approval. Lenders are more likely to approve loans for businesses with a higher DSCR. Financial health. A good DSCR reflects strong financial health and stability for the business that you're looking at buying. Let's talk about a couple common issues with DSCR in business valuations. Sometimes sellers overvalue their businesses, leading to an unrealistic DSCR. A good business broker should stop this from even happening or taking it to the market. But let's be honest, not all business brokers are good, so be careful. That's why I make these videos, so that you can recognize what to do and when there's a problem. So let me just point out a couple potential issues. Inflated cash flow. Overestimating income or underestimating expenses can distort DSCR. Don't be fooled into using seller's discretionary earnings, or SDE, to calculate your debt service ratio. Here's why it's important. Business brokers love to do this, but bankers won't fall for it. A savvy buyer and the bank will factor in a livable wage for the buyer. So this should be seller's discretionary earnings less the buyer's livable wage, in order to calculate the true net operating income. Let me break down a bad business broker example so you don't fall prey for any of their shenanigans when you see it. Here's an example. Seller's discretionary earnings, $275,000. Let's use a market multiple of 3. This means the asking price, or the valuation, is $825,000. But, like I said, don't let them play games with you. Here's what it should be. First off, we need to calculate both SDE and EBITDA and apply the appropriate multiple to both of them. Seller's discretionary earnings in this example is $275,000, but the true market multiple may be 2.6. This would equate to a $715,000 valuation. Next, you need to calculate EBITDA to factor in that valuation. Here's the example. Again, seller's discretionary earnings of $275,000 less the livable wage for the buyer of $90,000. That equals $185,000. Let's use a 3.5 multiple for that. That would equate to an asking price or a fair market value of roughly $647,000. Now, this is a bankable deal that you can get financing for all day long because you've factored in both SDE, the market multiple for SDE, EBITDA, the market multiple for that figure, and you factored in the livable wage that a bank's going to expect you to pay yourself as the owner-operator. Are you considering selling or buying a business? The first step is to find out what that business is worth and how long it will take to either sell it or buy it. I make these videos so that you can reach out to me whether you're looking to buy a business or sell a business. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to walk you through the process and guide you through the transaction. Thanks. Take care. Talk with you soon.